Going global. Hi, I'm Joe Danini, and I'm going to share some thoughts with you today as a business attorney regarding going global and doing international business. Now, you might want to open up an office or a plant or some business overseas. You might want to sell your product or service internationally, dealing with people of various backgrounds, maybe traveling to exotic locations. All of these things can sound appealing, and they very well may be. But before you start embarking on your venture or capitalizing on your opportunity, it's probably worth the while to think of a few things, because international business has some elements to it that are fundamentally different from our domestic counterpart. When you're going international, if you're going to require a physical presence, it really warrants you considering whether or not you want to have a local partner, someone who knows the lay of the land, possibly a native company or native individuals that can really help with relationships on the ground. That would really reduce your risk quite a bit, again, if you need physical presence. But let's, for instance, take this scenario. You don't need physical presence. You're strictly selling a product or service that you have, and you want to sell it globally. Well, some considerations that you want to think about that relate to how you're going to be doing your business involve money. In other words, normally in the United States, money can be a problem if someone doesn't pay you, but we have court systems and mechanisms to go after people when they haven't paid the obligation that they were supposed to. Internationally, though, it may not be that easy. You can't just reach out and force someone to pay you. So you might want to have letters of credit, depending on the transaction, whereby banks get involved securing these letters, so to speak, which are documentation backed by the banks that ultimately will facilitate the flow of funds from the buyer to their bank to your bank to you, so you get paid. You're also going to want to make sure you allocate the risk of currency fluctuations. Currency rates change all the time, and if you want to be paid in US dollars, you want to make sure that that risk is allocated so you're getting the exact amount that you have contracted for. Second, products. What happens if your products are defective or need to be returned or aren't wanted? There may be other issues involved that you wouldn't face here in the United States with how you're going to handle that, particularly if you have a foreign distributor that's working with you. You need to think about those issues and how you want to allocate those risks. Additionally, you may have transport of your products to get to your customers in the first place. You have to figure out, are they going by air? Are they going by ship? Are they going by some ground if the country is contiguous to the United States? How is transport going to take place? And deal with customs. There could be additional costs that could affect your pricing, that could affect your profit. Things that you need to think about. The third thing might deal with disputes. Inevitably, people get upset and you can't work a dispute out. Well, whose country should be the venue where the dispute is resolved? Under what law should the dispute be resolved? Under what type of method, mediation, arbitration, litigation, should the dispute be resolved? You really want to think about these in the context of the international setting, because by doing so, you'll position yourself to not only have a pleasant opportunity, but to ensure that your global goals are not only met, but hopefully exceeded. I'm Joe Danini, and thanks for joining me.